Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great, or Alexander III of Macedon, was born in Pella, the ancient capital of Macedonia, in July 356 BC. Son of King Philip II, he was educated under the liege of the famous ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle. At only 18, he took on royal duties, specifically the charge of the companion cavalry, Macedonia's elite cavalry, esteemed the best in the world. At the time, Greece was a group of city-states, each ruled independently and rife with fighting. Alexander was able, with his famed companion cavalry, to help his father defeat the Athenian and Theban armies at Chaeronea, and so earned his first stripes. It was just 2 years later that Alexander's father Philip was assassinated, and at the tender age of 20, Alexander inherited a powerful yet volatile kingdom. Alexander set to work changing his kingdom, swiftly dealing with enemies at home and reasserting Macedonian power within Greece. Having settled affairs at home, Alexander set his sights on the massive Persian Empire. He led his army to victories across the Persian territories of Asia Minor, Syria, and Egypt without suffering a single defeat. At only 25, Alexander was king of Macedonia, leader of the Greeks, overlord of Asia Minor, and pharaoh of Egypt. Alexander's defeat of the Persian Empire removed the block that had prevented the spread of Greek settlement into the east. There is no evidence to suggest that Alexander promoted a policy of Hellenization. He himself adopted Persian styles of dress and worship once he'd extended into Persia. However, Greek culture undoubtedly penetrated into Western Asia as the result of his conquests. Alexander's military genius is undisputed. Although his belief in his own indestructibility meant he was often reckless with his own life and those of his soldiers, the fact that his army only refused to follow him once in 13 years of a reign, during which there was constant fighting, indicates the loyalty he inspired. He improved the fine army inherited from his father by the addition of allied forces. He strengthened the cavalry arm, utilised weapons specialists, and employed a corps of engineers. He was invincible in both siege warfare and set battles. His movements were marked by speed. His logistical intelligence and communications operations were flawless, and his ability to improvise was unrivaled. Alexander founded over 70 cities and created an empire that stretched across 3 continents and covered around 2 million square miles. This was united by a common Greek language and culture, while the king himself adopted foreign customs in order to rule his millions of ethnically diverse subjects. Alexander's conquests created a legend that would provide the standard by which other leaders would measure their careers. He died of malaria in Babylonia in 323 BC, only 33 years old. His tomb was one of the biggest tourist attractions of the ancient world. Roman emperors, including Pompey, Julius Caesar, and Caligula, travelled to Alexandria to pay their respects. His tomb and its location, though, remain one of history's greatest mysteries and still has not been found.